exciting episode for you today. We're talking everything yachting, and we are talking about the yachts themselves, the organizations that support these yachts, and the tender of choice that you find on or behind some of these yachts. My name is Kim Sweers, the boat boss, and I am here with
Rick Thomas with Yachting International Radio's Yachting USA.
And thanks for joining us. It's an exciting episode, as we discussed earlier, and thanks for hosting us, Alex and Ken with Intrepid.
For sure.
Thanks so much for having us today.
Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Well, and Kitty McGowan.
I'm just for eye candy.
No. We just saved the best.
Next to the boat boss, I'm just the eye
flag.
candy. Yes, I'm just the flag.
We saluted. And we saved the best for last, actually. Yeah.
So, all kidding aside, the yachting industry is a $12.9-ish billion industry here in South Florida. With a B.
Right.
Yes, it is. And a majority of that is the yachting industry. And Kitty, you are the president of one of the flagship organizations in this town. You've been in this business, I don't want to say how long, because I don't want to date you.
more than 3 decades. We love that soft effect on the microphone and the speakers.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization.
Well, thank you so much, Kim and Rick. I'm so honored to be here. I've been honored to be in this business for nearly 40 years, from everything from yacht crew to running fishing tournaments to being in the administration and the advocacy side. From the local, state, federal levels, I worked at MIASF back in the 90s and worked on a lot of local issues, the state issues. Testified before Congress, passed legislation that impacted the super yacht industry.
Yes, you did.
And for the past 15 years, I've been blessed to be the voice of the U.S. Superyacht Association as president, and really been able to take it to the next level and keep the U.S. on the map. So it's a great job. I love it. It's my passion. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Bravo.
Nice.
And I, for one, advocate the USSA, the United States Superyacht Association. Years ago, I saw the upside benefit to it. I was one of the founding members of the organization. I was a board member for a while.
Now you're really dating yourself.
I know, It's, hey, this is, 65th year of the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. I did my first boat show here with my dad in 1977.
Wow.
So I was 87. So.
Yeah. So I'm the old man in the room. But that's how far back that goes. And
age before beauty.
Right,
so.
Yes.
There we go. Ladies first.
Yes, and the boat show is like our Super Bowl.
It is.
It is an economic impact powerhouse for not only our industry, but for our community. And a lot of that is because of people like you guys, the yachts and the tenders. And I wanted to go right into what USS is doing in regards to initiatives and really our voice and protecting in Washington. What's going on? Tell us what's exciting.
Well, all you have to do is, you'd be living under a rock if you didn't know what was going on or not happening right now. We're only weeks away from a federal election that who could have scripted.
Get out and vote.
Yes, you have to get out and vote. Whatever side you're on, it doesn't matter, but just get engaged. But what your point is that with the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, I just returned from the Monaco show, and to be able to see the energy and the excitement from the owner's perspective, and that's really our job, is to support the experience for the owners, because without it, we don't have a job. Mm-hmm. With a $1.92 million economic impact, or I should say billion. What am I saying? M's, B's, keep track of all the zeros. From the impact, like you said, it's the Super Bowl of the shows, but it's also local. It supports hundreds of thousands of jobs. And we take it from the U.S. Superyacht Association perspective. We were created to be an advocacy and a marketing arm for the U.S. Because before it was, boats were a lot smaller, but as we all get larger and larger and larger, the rules change, and we didn't have a voice in that large boat market, and so the USSA was formed, and I've been with the organization for 15 years, and during that time, we have worked on a lot of things, creating legislation to create a large yacht flag for the U.S. that we're still, because the wheels of government move not at the same speed as
We
business,
do.
but they're still in effect, and we're still continuing that. But I mean, even things like during COVID, I mean, we worked in tandem with other organizations to allow yachts to take the same same regulations that commercial yachts were afforded, which got us exempted from travel ban.
Mm-hmm.
So during COVID, where a lot of people got on boats and left because it saved their families or prospected their
Absolutely.
business, and otherwise, without the jobs that we do and as an association, they wouldn't have been able to do that. So on December 31st in 2020, the last year of our former president's tenure, he signed including the yachting industry into the exempted status. So
That's right.
we're constantly putting out fires as they come up because a lot of people think of our industry as just a rich man's game.
And it's not.
It's not.
Speak of how important yachts are. Let's take a divert and talk about the importance of yachts in a community. Can you talk about the impact?
Oh my goodness, the impact, I mean, in the tri-state, in the tri-county area, there's over 150,000 high-paying, skilled labor jobs
Yes.
in this area.
These aren't minimum wage jobs.
These are not,
I can vouch for that.
a bag person at a grocery store, which now I think there's going to be done by a robot soon. But in our industry, that can't happen. So just in jobs alone, but the economic impact is staggering in the hundreds of millions of dollars, not just here, because we represent the whole country. I mean, without it, right now we're fighting federal regulations on what the government is trying to do is to stop vessels going over 10 knots because of 350 right whales. I'm all about right whales. I love them. But to stop an entire industry on the entire coast from Maine to Florida is kind of let's find some total technology solutions for that,
And I was gonna
and
say,
that's what we bring to the table.
There are technology solutions for
Yeah.
that, and there's some very cool companies that are bringing that innovation
Right,
out.
but
And
now they're hearing our voice
Yes.
as an industry, not just with us, but with other organizations as a collaboration. But it is a very critically important job, value creator for real estate and quality of life in all the communities that are there. Not to mention when there are crew involved, what crews spend in restaurants and in bars and in just in food and wine and cheese. As a former yacht chef, I can tell you I spent hundreds of thousands of
Yes,
dollars
yes.
to make sure that the owners and my charter guests were taken care of.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about innovation and technology and how important it is not only for what you both do, but we're also going to coexist with the right whales. And it's so
Absolutely.
important. And
And that can happen.
it will happen if we all vote and reach out to our congressmen and our senators and really get them to understand the importance of why this technology will save us.
Yes,
These two
keep the
gentlemen
voice.
are so innovative in regards to the company and the teams behind them. I want to divert now from what you do and focus on the product behind the #1 yacht tender in the world, and that's Intrepid Powerboats. You're coming, first of all, we're at your Drive for Perfection event. Is that right?
It's Alex.
Alex, sorry, Alex.
It's ours.
Yeah.
It's ours. It's yours, not mine, but it's yours, yes. And it is a great product. You have your team here. Your office has been renovated. It's amazing. I love it now. And so let's talk about you first. Give us something that is exciting, why captains come to Intrepid to build their #1 tender.
Well, the captains and the owners both come. We happened to have one here last week where the owner came with his crew, and it's interesting because it's one of the funnest builds that we do is when we do a yacht tender. The owner obviously wants to speak about the creature comforts on the boat, the seating, the ergonomics, how to onboard the boat, and then you talk to the yacht crew and the captains, and they're more concerned with the fit and finish and the quality. And to watch those captains be so impressed with our builds, and obviously the reputation precedes itself, as you said, the #1 yacht tender in the industry, and they're more focused on how is this boat going to perform when you're pulling it across the ocean and taking it thousands of miles.
It's real.
So it's really, really fun for us to deal with those two combined questions, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, you get both sides. You get the actual user itself,
Correct.
and then you get the actual captain together.
Correct.
And it really can create a lot of innovative ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I should share with
does.
Alex too a really fun story I have personal experience with Intrepid Nation, in that I was involved in designing a specialty tender storage and launching system in my previous business, and we're supplying a well-known boat builder up in Wisconsin, Berger Boat Company, on a 55-meter Greg Marshall design yacht. And the owner of that boat, in love with his Intrepid, absolutely loved that Intrepid, and we spent an incredible amount of engineering to figure out how to put this 37 to 38 foot Intrepid into the back end of this yacht, and come up with a launching system where we were working with 50 millimeter clearances just to fit his tender in his boat, because he didn't want a different tender. He wanted his Intrepid in his yacht. So there's loyalty to the
That's
brand
commitment.
and commitment to what he wanted to achieve in the build of this new boat. Amazing.
Absolutely, appreciate that. And once they buy their first tender, it's 90% of the time they're always back for the next
So
tender.
it's like the Kool-Aid effect.
Correct.
Well, and
Correct.
you'll always have some of those that want to try brands X, Y, and Z, and we've seen some of them try those brands and they've come back. One of the things that got us in this industry to become tender builders was that back in the day nobody wanted that market, and the reason why they didn't, it's the worst punishment you could possibly do to a boat is drag it behind a mega yacht.
Right.
They get destroyed. So when we were really small, we were like, we'll take any market share we can get our hands on, wibble tenders, and we would just overbuild the boats. And to this day, we do the same thing. We build every boat as a tender, even if it's not a tender. So you can even retrofit a boat that was never a tender and put a tow-eye package on it, and you can tow it. These other brands that I mentioned, they've dabbled into that market and they've retreated because, you have to build something that can withstand that kind of punishment. And that's what we're really proud of.
Yeah.
But now on some of these really big boats, they aren't dragging them anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have their own garage, their
Yeah.
own
Yes.
setup and
Yeah.
stuff.
You
But
talk about a garage, Cakewalk, one of the
Yes.
biggest super yachts that were built in the States. We built the tender to Cakewalk, and we had to do that with diesel IO inboards. And the biggest thing is the garage height was an issue, so we literally built a custom carbon fiber T-top that would, at the push of a button, would lower so it could go into the garage.
And Ken, I think we talked about this in our previous conversation. Ken's a repeat guest of ours on Yachting International's Yachting USA. There's a desire to go into diesel upwards now too, is there not?
Yeah, there is. Just be able to keep where they don't have to take gasoline onto the mega yacht. If they can all use common fuel, it makes a lot of sense. So we're definitely rooting for the diesel outboard guys for sure.
Yeah, I think that's good innovation in the industry, and I think for the large yacht industry, it's critical because these boats are going into protected areas where they, by law, can't operate a gasoline-powered craft.
Yeah.
And to be able to bring your tender along and bunker off of the same fuel bunker that's operating the big boat makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So when are you going to do the hydrogen-powered boats?
Yeah, right. Baby steps.
or electric.
Exactly.
As soon as Alex takes the order for it.
Right.
I love it.
Speaking
But
of
no
orders-
ion batteries.
None of that. So, Alex, speaking of orders, you're the VP of Sales. You firsthand have seen some of the most craziest orders or requests, customer requests. Can you tell us about one of your unique builds?
We do, and like I was mentioning before, it's very exciting because sometimes you're just building a basic tender, but you're still completely retrofitting the boat to match the super yacht. So that's fun in itself. But to answer your particular question, there was one super yacht owner that was very big into surfing. He loved to surf, and I'm talking 50-foot, 40-foot waves. And he did that by going out to these waves on his jet ski.
Right.
So he needed a really large tender, number one, and we sold him a 47 Panacea, which was his tender to his super yacht.
Wow.
But he needed to put a jet ski on the Panacea. And we obviously call Ken and say, we have a project for you.
We need a tender that has a tender.
Tender,
Exactly.
so it's TTT.
Yeah.
Tender,
So
tender,
Ken came up with a way of mounting this jet ski with a boom hidden under the gunnel, so it looked like a regular boat for this customer. And he would go out in his 47 Panacea, miles and miles offshore, lower his jet ski, get on his board, and the person on the jet ski would drop him off where these waves were. So that
cool.
was an incredibly creative, and we've done many. I mean, I saw a picture that was sent recently about a 43 where it looks like there's a hot tub in the front, but it's not really a hot tub. It's actually, there was an area to sit and board the boat from the bow, because they used
That
to
was the
beach
one
the
we
boat.
saw.
We swore that was a hot tub. It looked like there was jets in there.
Today.
Yeah, we were at Bradford East on the
person.
marina in
Yeah,
person. Yeah,
today.
we were looking at that.
I thought it was a hot tub.
Yeah, it looks like a hot tub.
She
up in
asked
the
me,
front.
she goes, "Did you build an Intrepid with a hot tub up front?" Wait, no, that was a 43 with recessed seating.
Well, it looks like you could put a hot tub there.
Right, yes.
Wouldn't want
So
to run it that way, though.
We take the orders, and we have the difficult phone call with him, and he makes it happen.
It's like, how do I make that happen?
Yeah.
But the best thing about what Intrepid brings to the yachting industry is that owners are very particular about their yachts, and they have to have the look, the feel,
Right.
and that represents them. And having tender builders like Intrepid is such a high level in this market that you're able to match and give them that same yachting experience, but at a much smaller level.
Yeah, they're very particular with what they want. They know what they want in most cases. We've had it to where they've sent me the purple dress to the wife of the owner of the super yacht that they wanted us to match it to. And
I know that one.
Yeah, right. It's amazing some of the things that we do, but you know what? That's what keeps it interesting. It's always a challenge. I get phone calls from Alex with his next customer with an idea, and Alex and I put our minds together and we figure it out, and we do. We go back to the team at the factory as well, and between the sales team and the factory, we can do just about anything.
It's just a smaller yacht,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and a lot faster.
Well, you mentioned that you can do practically anything, and we have the autonomous driven cars right now, and now it's finding its way into boating, and the two of you are at the forefront of that. Can you talk
Jeez,
about
Kim, can
that?
we talk about this again? Because we missed that in our last conversation. I was so bummed.
Yeah, and I think Alex could also agree that one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to get more people into boating. And one of the things about boating is it's intimidating for those who haven't been on boats. It's different when cars. You grow up in a car, you go to school on a bus, you're used to that. So when it turns 16 and you're driving, it's something that is second nature because you've seen it. A boat's different. It's almost like sitting you in an airplane and saying, "Here, go fly."
Doesn't have brakes.
Yeah, right.
Possibly go wrong.
Exactly. So one of the things that we're seeing as technology gets better and better, joystick docking, and now with like systems like Abacus is literally a system that you can it'll dock for you. It'll take you from point A to point B. It will make AI decisions to avert other vessels. And it's going to help take that intimidation factor away so that guys like Alex can bring more people into the industry.
That's
Right.
been the number one blockage for people either getting in the market
Yeah.
or the ones that buy a boat and go, no. I can't do that when everybody's watching and I
Yeah.
have to come in 5 times to try and dock or put it on a trailer. They're like, nah, we're getting rid of it.
Well, you're doing a lot of sea trials with
Yeah.
customers, and you see that.
And to the Kitty's point, there's actually companies right now that are dedicated to sitting in front of the inlets, reporting people, or at the dock ramps just to report people.
Yes.
It becomes very, very intimidating
Yeah.
to
It
use your
does.
boat and to show up at 17th Street Marina or anywhere and
Or go
wait.
viral on social media.
Right, exactly.
Look at this
Yeah.
goofball who has taken 10 times to
Yeah.
try and pull in.
Well, it's like second behind public speaking. I think
Yeah.
docking a boat is just as bad
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
Right, right.
Or
It's-
teeing off on that first tee when everyone's standing
Yes.
there.
They're watching.
I'm not going to whiff that one.
Yeah, and I think the other distinct difference too, as you look at throughout the years of people entering into boating, everything used to be, what was our most popular mouse? 30 and 32. Well, as technology has gotten better and it made it easier for people to boat, it's now 40, 41, 42, 43 feet. That's, in a lot of cases, entry level boats for people.
Bravo.
And once again, it goes back to hats off to the engine companies for being able to come up with joystick technology. Hats off to Seakeeper for giving us gyros and being able to self-trim boats with trim tabs that handle that for you.
Yeah, that's
Stop
Valves-
that seasickness
That's crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful technology. So, Kim, this kind of dovetails into what we were talking about earlier about why would you go to Informa's Fort Lauderdale Boat Show? Because that's one place you can go to see this technology. You can see the way boat builders are using this technology and improving the boating experience for the end user. Talk to people like Alex and like Ken, like yourself,
Absolutely.
about how this is affecting your day-to-day operation and why it probably is more comfortable to bring your family out on the water.
Absolutely. The boat show is a show, and it's also a way for you to get to meet people like Alex and Ken and all the manufacturers and talk about not just who they are, the people behind the phone call and when you're in customer service, but also the technology and where is it going. Whether you're buying right now, 6 months, a year from now, you at least get to see where we're taking this industry to. And it's a great show, whether you're in the new, pre-owned, refit, repower, whatever it might be, seminars. There's so many great things to see at the show.
And it's also letting them experience some of the lifestyle. Because, let's think about it. We're selling a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Technology and the boat and all that's great, but in picturing yourself, taking your family, what other sport or what else can you do where you can have the grandkids, the grandparents, all the family together and go and enjoy a beautiful day, except on a boat.
Preach.
Creating
Yeah.
memories.
Creating memories.
Yeah.
Some of my most fond memories were boating when there used to be islands in the intercoastal, which are gone, and we could pull up, have lunch,
Right.
have the dogs, and enjoy it. But those are memories that I will always treasure, and that's what boating at any size, whether it's in a center console or a yacht, that's what to me is the most powerful part of our industry.
Oh, couldn't
Thank
agree
you,
more.
Kitty. I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely.
Sold, the lady.
So, okay, and I wish I could sell a boat because I just represent the nonprofit businesses
Oh, but you're doing
that
awesome.
support them all.
Yeah. Now, Kitty, during the boat show, where are we going to find you?
Well, I'm really excited because we have a couple places there. As a nonprofit trade association, we are bringing together a lot of different countries because it is, in the super yacht world, a global industry. So we have representatives from the South Pacific, Fiji, Australia, Tahiti. We have Colombia, Costa Rica, all of them coming together. So for owners that already have boats or that are looking to charter, then they can learn more about those destinations. And then we have our upstairs Sky Lounge, where those people that want to have a VIP experience and meet some of the owners of these companies that can come enjoy that. Yep. But the most important thing that I'm excited about is that we bring a number, like you said, educational seminars on things that matter for the large yacht, because size does matter in the super yacht industry, because once you get over a certain size, tonnage, the rules change.
Rules and class and flag and all of that.
Yeah, and so we have a flag state event on Wednesday, a brand new class series on Thursday morning with 5 different class societies to talk about those things for the different sectors. That's not necessarily general public would have an interest, but all the rest of us in the industry, like the engineering and the build side, that get kind of forgotten. You have a destinations event and learning about all the new rules and regs in all the other countries, and of course our annual meeting on Friday.
I was just going to ask you, is there still tickets available for the annual meeting?
There are still
It's not sold
tickets
out yet.
available
It always
for
sells
every
out.
event. It does always sell out, and it's at ussuperyacht.com, and you just click on the events and you can register right there. So.
And I've experienced the VIP experience with the Superyacht Association, and could you tell us a little bit about that for those who haven't experienced it before?
Yeah, it's not like a traditional VIP thing where it's just a bunch of people that have paid their way in. These are presidents of companies. These are C-suite business owners that are looking to learn more about the industry. We have, engine companies and everyone that are there. Nearly everybody who's been with us in there has done business.
Yeah, I have.
Or you meet somebody that knows somebody, because it is really an industry-driven location, and so
2 degrees of separation
it
or
is.
less.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, and I'm really excited that we're kicking it up again a notch this year,
Yes, I love
and
it.
making it even better and attractive.
Yeah.
For
Well,
the, for
as
the
Rick
industry.
said, he is an originating member. I'm a newer member. You guys have been members for quite some time, but whether you've been, 25 years, whatever amount of years, 2 years myself, you really need to seek membership in Kitty's organization. That
It's not mine. I'm just the president, but I play one on TV.
Yeah, well, you're the face
We
of
have
the
a great
organization.
board
and
of people from all sectors of the industry, from all over the country, so
Yeah.
that we represent every sector of the country, that they volunteer their time to bring perspective of the new challenges that we might have in California, which they're always coming in California, or Washington State or New England or the Savannah area, which is a booming area now in our industry.
Yeah.
And we're building on that market. So I get all these productive faces, plus Fedship is on our board as well. So I'm really excited to be, like the Big Toe and Sergeant Hulka in this great board of professionals that are just amazing. And I'm honored to be able to represent the U.S. Here and around
Well, you have
the
a
world.
whole room of really members sitting
Yeah.
I
here.
do.
Yeah.
I know. It's awesome.
And we're all thrilled to have membership in the
Well,
organization.
we're very happy to have you guys because it really is driven by membership. Unfortunately, we don't own a boat show, and we, when you say Superyacht Association, they think, oh wow, they have tons of money. We are a nonprofit, so we depend on membership and people supporting us through who they know, because a lot of the work we do is keeping us relevant as an industry in the face of our governmental agencies.
Well,
So-
and when you start talking about, super yacht industry and fighting for our rights to allow us to continue to boat, same with the NMMA and everything that
Yes.
they do.
we work very closely with
Yeah,
them.
those kind of
MIASF.
groups are what keep us and allow us to enjoy boating. I mean, if you take that away, if somebody's not there fighting for us, we're going to lose those rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Individually, we don't have the bandwidth to fight for ourselves.
But
We've
that's
got to
why our
cumulatively do
thing
it.
is individually strong, but together a
Together.
powerful force.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily about companies, it's about the people.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's about all the people that support our business. And addition that we brought in several years ago is we have the Customs and Border Protection officers down in our pavilion in the down part of the show. So there's a lot of people that have questions about Rome or about how do I clear and how do I do this. And same with yachts, is that I have this particular crew person that, how do I get this visa? They're there to answer, and especially a new big issue is international garbage. So we'll have representatives there to talk about that. But for anybody that's interested, especially members, if you're looking to get global entry, I have VIP concierge ability
Wow.
to get your global entry done right there at the show.
Wow, that's huge.
So that's the benefit of membership.
That's
So-
excellent.
Awesome. Alex, I have to ask, where are we going to find the Intrepid fleet during the boat show?
The Intrepid fleet's going to be in Dock G700, where we always reside, and we will have a big array of Intrepids of every model that you have there to see. And Ken and myself will be there throughout the show. If we're not there, maybe we rent to the restroom or something.
We're down in the cabin
You're not allowed to
explaining
do that. There's no going to the bathroom in a boat show.
We're always there, so I encourage
Fantastic.
everybody to come visit us.
So what if I can't make it to the show? How do I build my boat?
If you can't make it to the show, I encourage everyone to visit our website. We have a Build-A-Boat option on the website, and I also highly encourage everybody to call us directly at this office. This office, we will give you hands-on personalized attention. Every Intrepid navigating the waters today and throughout the world behind superyachts was sold through this exact office right here where we sit.
So, Alex, I have to ask, if I was going to buy an Intrepid and I'm the kind of guy that's really interested in how my boat's built, can I go to your factory and see what you're doing for me?
Absolutely. We highly encourage factory tours. We have a complete design center at the factory. A lot of times you get a direct tour with Ken directly, if not Joe Brenna, our customer care vice president, and one of us here from the sales office can also travel with you over there and give you a complete tour. So we encourage those a lot.
Yeah, when you
Fantastic.
call this office, you talk to a person, and that's what we always encourage is, reach out to us. We can cater almost anything to how you use a boat.
And it's not an AI
No.
impersonator.
Not at all.
I'm kidding.
I
It's
love
like,
it. I
we always
love it.
goes, is that AI?
Yeah, right.
It sounds so much like Ken.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he's really rocking his AI image today too. I
Yeah,
noticed
right.
that. Love it. So cool. We're just literally days away
I
from
know.
an incredible boat show, and
The boat show.
The
Yeah.
world's largest.
yes, and 3 weeks away from the most consequential election of our lives, probably.
Yeah,
So
Absolutely.
Yes.
let's show up to both of these events and participate and enjoy this opportunity to really engage in a cool industry.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and thank you for hosting us and Kitty
Thank you
for
so
all
much.
you do.
I appreciate it.
We couldn't appreciate you more.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, check out the U.S.
U.S. Superyacht Association at ussuperyacht.com.
Got that.
ussuperyacht.com.
Yeah.
Or Intrepid.
The U.S. Super Snot Association. That's what I used to call it.
Okay, there's our sound guy. I like
Okay.
it. Yes, yes.
Well,
But
we'll cut that out.
no, it's gonna probably just become a little tagline.
No, definitely.
Do your
no
finish
stop.
again.
All right.
Anyway,
Hang on, let her finish.
Okay,
go
great.
girl.
Well, it was great. Thanks for joining us today. We are so grateful for both of you, Ken, Alex, Kitty. Can't thank you enough for all you do for your voice and everyone else's in the industry. October 30th to November 3rd, the largest boat show in the world, the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Go for more information, FLIBS, FLIBS.com. There's no box office at the show, so get your tickets early and get them online. And whether you live, work, or play on the water, just get on the water, because there's nothing better than a lifestyle on the water. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and make it an epic day.